So it was September 10th, 2006. It was our first Sunday morning service ever. But that's really not the beginning. And many people ask me here at the church, so how did Free Rider Fellowship even come about? Well, let me tell you a little story and walk you through the basics of how we really came about. Well, first of all, let's start with the fact that in the past, Leanne and I were living in Tallahassee. We were married and I was a youth minister in that town. And unfortunately, we had a tragic fire where we lost everything and we had to move back to this area. And we had a little period of time where God just did not allow us to find a place where we could plug in. I had been a youth minister, I had served, I had done a lot of things, and we were seeking God's will and asking Him, Lord, what do you want us to do? And at the very end of that period of time, the Lord gave me a very clear vision of me on a motorcycle. Now that may not sound strange to you, but I gotta tell you, it was pretty strange for me. I had never ridden before. I had never even had a desire to ride a motorcycle before. So when you go to your wife and you say, hey, God told me to go get a motorcycle, she thinks you're having a midlife crisis. Seriously, she thinks there's something wrong with you. But in fact, what was happening was God was leading us in a new direction, and Leanne got on board and we went out and I took the classes and I bought a bike, bought my first motorcycle, and within a week, a ministry from the church where we attended was getting ready to get started that we knew nothing about. They roared up in front of our house to visit us with a bunch of bikes and said, hey, we're starting this ministry. We heard you just got a bike. We want you to come join us. Very quickly, I got transitioned to be the chaplain for that ministry at that church. We saw that ministry grow radically. We went from just a few people to almost 200, then over 200 people on a Sunday morning. And God was really blessing, and we were happy, and we were right where we thought we should be. Look, God did exactly what He said He was going to do. He blessed us. We were faithful. We got into this whole motorcycle concept. We learned so much. And then God laid another vision on our hearts. You see, people kept coming up to me saying, you need to start a church. We need a church that reaches out to people that are not normally going to church. Bikers and just renegades and people who don't normally find themselves welcome at a classic or a traditional type of church. And so after much prayer and the Lord really leading us, we decided, yep, we're going to do that. And so we started making plans and working things out. And those of you who know me, you know the way my brain works. And so we ended up laying out a PowerPoint presentation. I told people what we were going to do, even the local churches, and everybody gave me the same message. You're crazy. That'll never work. And you need to not do this. It's just going to be a waste of your time. But we didn't listen to that. We listened to what God told us. And what God told us to do was to start a church. So we worked on it, we started praying, we started really seeking Him, and within just a very short amount of time, people came around us and said, we want to help you start this church. And so there we were on September 10th, 2006, in our first service in the little meeting room in the bottom of a hotel in Plant City, Florida, starting a church. And God has blessed us so greatly. We have seen all different types of people come in and contribute to what the church has now become. Free Rider Fellowship has become so much, both to individual people, but also to the community. And so many people have come in and poured into this ministry to build up to who we are today. And so the real question is, why am I telling you this story? Well, I'm telling you this story because this is how our church was founded, and this is who we still are today. We're still listening to God. We're still waiting for Him to tell us the next thing that He has for us to do. We already have some of that now, that we are seeking to now take from a vision and make it a reality, which is what God continues to do when we're faithful. All those people that contributed so much have come, and many of them have gone and done other things and gone to other churches, and God bless them for what they did while they were here. In the season that those folks were here, they built us up and edified us and helped us to grow to where we are today. But if you're watching this video, maybe it's your turn. Maybe God is calling you to be a part of this church, or maybe you just recently joined this church and you wanted to know a little bit more about how Free Rider Fellowship got started. Well, now you know. But our story's not done being written. You can be a part of that story. And I hope that you will join us on this journey to continue building and growing the vision that God started so many years ago. It's really all about Him. It's about following His plan, His purpose, and all for His glory. I hope you'll join us here at Free Rider Fellowship as we work to make that vision a reality.